Good? Hello, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to the final Partners in Torah for the semester. We will be beginning again in 2 months, God willing, after the summer ends. We handed out cards tonight to let everybody know that we're giving out a very special prize. Stay tuned to what it will be. At the end of the summer, whoever fills out the cards and continues either by phone or in person with their partner for the duration of the summer. And the center will be open every day, every night, including Wednesday night. We hope to still have a nice crowd here Wednesday night for whoever's in town during the summer to keep the Partners in Torah going. I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsor for tonight, which is the Torch Center. Woo! For sponsoring Partners in Torah, we have a dear friend of Torch by the name of Ed Hoffman, who unfortunately lost his mother clear this week. And we dedicate tonight's learning as well as the upcoming speech tonight in her memory. May her soul have an elevation. One more reminder is we have a dip jar. Whoever didn't hear about it the past couple of weeks, in the back on the left, right when you walk in, or on the right when you walk out, it's a way of giving a little bit of a donation to the Torch Center. It's very easy. You take a small, quick dip, put it in. There's a different number on it every day, so I can't say what the number of the donation will be, but remind everyone about that. And tonight, we have a very, very special guest speaker, all the way from Dallas, Texas, Rabbi Bentzi Epstein, who is the director of DATA, which is a very similar organization to Torch, been running for almost 30 years now, or maybe even longer. I might be getting that wrong. And the way that I perceived Rabbi Epstein the few times that we've met, and what I've been told by other people, and then with a quick glance at the DATA staff page, what it says about Rabbi Epstein, which does not say this about every outreach rabbi, is that his love for every Jew is something amazing to see. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Rabbi Epstein, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Chili. Actually, it's kind of like being introduced by Chili is a little bittersweet, because I don't know if you know the background story to this, but actually we were trying to hire Rabbi Chili to come to Dallas. And it's Houston 1, Dallas nothing. And I'm coming down here and seeing all the wonderful... And I'm coming down here and seeing all the wonderful work that he's been doing in such a short time here. It's quite exciting to see, and as well as what Torch has done. I come down here every time like I need like a little boost. I come to Houston to check out Torch, and so then I know like where I need to go next. So they're doing all the rabbis and rebbitzins of Torch are doing an amazing job, and you guys don't know how lucky you are that you have such gems here, and you should really appreciate them. Okay, so they asked me to give a speech. They said I have like an hour and a half, and I told them I usually don't speak for less than 2.5 hours. And if you don't believe me, you can check out my YouTube videos. Not as good as any of the Torch ones, but you have to have like a day to sit down and to listen to them. So they said it's like 5 minutes or so, and. There's an idea that I think that you guys are ready to go on a summer break that I thought I would share with you that I think is a message that we can take with us as we go through our summer. If you read through the Torah portions, sort of the last 5 weeks is sort of like when summer begins, and the Torah portions begin with right. You have Parshas Bahaloscha, Shalach, Korach, Chukaz, Balak, and there's one theme that the Torah keeps on hammering home time and time and time again. And that is the theme of Parshas Bahaloscha. Very interesting. It's kind of one of the main themes of Parshas Bahaloscha is when the story of when Miriam talks Lashon Hara about Moses, which actually culminated in last week's Torah portion of Miriam and Aaron dying. And then you have Parshas Shlach, which is spies. And all of a sudden now you have a whole Torah portion only exclusively talking about not having proper speech. And then you go to the next Torah portion, in case you still didn't get the message. In Parshas Korach, like not only do people again talk terribly, but actually the mouth opens up its mouth and gets in the fray too. And then you have last week, right, which is Parshas Chukas, and again, right, you start talking about dead people, and you talk about Miriam dying, and the people complaining. Speech again. And then you go ahead and you have this week's Torah portion, Parshas Balak, and you have speech again. Right? Balak goes to hire Bilam to talk about the Jewish people. And so if you haven't been paying attention, you have like 6 Torah portions to just remember, watch your speech. Amazing. Right? We're about to enter the period of the 3 weeks. About to enter the time of when it's a sad time for the Jewish people. Like it's kind of like, and it really should be an exciting time. It's funny, like this is an amazing time. We're still within 40 days of Shavuos. The Jewish people were standing at Mount Sinai at this time, waiting for Moses to come down with actually the tablets. And they're sitting and waiting for them to come. Excited, we heard God 37 days ago, 38 days ago, and we can't wait to get the tablets and to actually get the hard copy. Right, you know, right, okay, we get the videos, a cute little bit, you're going to get the hard copy. It's an amazing time for the Jewish people, and there's so much excitement. And then the Jewish people go ahead and we build the golden calf in 2 days. Right, the anniversary actually comes up this year on Shabbat, and because it's Shabbat is holier, we push it off to Sunday. And it starts the time of the 3 weeks, which is a terrible time for the Jewish people. We start a mourning process. We don't take haircuts. We don't listen to music. We kind of start up. Then we come to the period of the 9 days, which is the last week and a half of the 3 weeks. When then we don't even, no bathing for pleasure. In Texas, you're allowed to shower. Right? No bathing for pleasure. It's funny, one of the things is you can't shower in regular warm water. You have to have only cold water. In Texas, I haven't found cold water yet. In the middle of the summer, I can turn on the only cold and it actually feels like great. Okay, so we're getting in and out, just get clean and move on. And it culminates on Tisha B'Av, the day when we sit on the ground and we cry and we mourn. Why? Because of spies. Again, 3 weeks ago. Right? And the idea is all about improper speech. Right? It's summertime is a time when kind of the routine breaks a little bit. We have our kids running around. Right? We're going on vacation and families get together. And it's such a ripe time for great bonding, or it's such a ripe time for when we remember why we moved halfway across the country so we wouldn't be with the rest of our family. Right? And what happens is in the Torah it says, even to the end of the earth, like Houston. Okay? So what happens is, right? And so what happens is you look around and you understand the message is we have to learn to speak properly. We have to learn to go ahead and to have proper speech. And just to go ahead and to look, and really this week's Torah portion I think has the key to it, right? And it's that we have Bilam, the guy who hates the Jewish people with a passion, who's at prophecy a greater level than Moses. And he looks at the Jewish people and he tries to he goes to the edge of the camp. Who's the edge of the camp? Right? That's the people that aren't living in harmony. And he tries to curse the Jewish people. And he looks at them, and even the end of the camp, they go ahead and he can't curse them. He says, look at how proper the Jewish people are dwelling. And he says the famous words of Matovu Ohalecha Yaakov. How great are your tents, Jacob. Ohalecha, right? Matovu Ohalecha Yaakov Mishkanosacha Yisrael. Your dwelling places, O Israel. Right? He says he looks at the Jewish people and he sees how we're acting properly towards each other. How our homes are structured so that one door doesn't look into the other door, so when somebody's door is open, you don't get a chance to see into their homes. Right? And there are laws how you have to build your houses. Can you build windows that look onto your neighbor's yard? Right? And the tractate's filled with proper speech between one and the other. And Bilam comes with an evil eye, and he's not able to curse the Jewish people. And the Torah is telling you, you want to cure bad speech, you want to cure evil speech, learn from Bilam. And instead of using your eyes for evil, begin looking with what's called an ayin tova, with a good eye. Right? Use your good eye to look at your friends, look at your families, look at the good things that they do, and go ahead and comment on those. You have nothing. There's a great kids book from Artsville. You got to get it, and you got to read it to your kids. And if you don't have kids, make an excuse and borrow somebody's kids and read it to them. It's called, like, words are for mitzvos. Now God makes tongues that can speak in all different languages. Chinese, any language you want. He said, you have something nice to say it with gusto. You have nothing nice to say, keep your mouth shut. Right? And that's really, I want to let you know, good eye, looking at people and looking and seeing the good in people is really the key to help us get to a place of proper speech. I want to let you know, why, does anyone know why we have two eyes? So I'm going to tell you why you have two eyes now. Listen up, it's the good news. You have two eyes. One eye you have is what's called a critical eye. One eye that you have is called a good eye. You have an ayin ra and an ayin ra. Good eye and a bad eye. And God gave us two eyes because with the good eye, we're supposed to look at everybody else. With the critical eye, we're supposed to look at ourselves. Because if we can't have growth, if we say, oh, everything is great, everything's fantastic, I have nothing to change. And so we use the critical eye we're supposed to use on ourselves. And the problem is that usually we use the critical eye, we switch our eyes around. And we use the critical eye on everybody else, and we use the good eye on ourselves. Right? And so we got to remember as we go into this period of the 3 weeks, and I don't know about you guys, I don't enjoy fasting. I'm not sure if this will come to newsflash to anybody. I enjoy eating, and I don't enjoy fasting. Today we are still sitting and mourning on the 17th of Tammuz, which is coming up this Sunday. It's a fast day. 3 weeks later we have a second fast day. All because of sinas chinam. All because of basis hatred that we Jews have one for another. And if we could take home this message of these week's Torah portion, talk nicely about each other, speak nicely, and instead of doing sinat chinam, right, hatred for no reason, and I know you have a reason why you hate that person, I get it, right, but the Torah said forget about it. And if we could begin looking at each other with good eyes, we could rectify the sin of our ancestors, and God willing, build the Messiah, go to Israel, to the temple, and to build the temple still in our days. Thank you.
Amen.